Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and it's Brick Haul o'clock with a lovely great big package from bricklink.com. Let's get going. Yes, it's time for another package, but unfortunately I'm still absolutely surrounded by all of the bricks kindly sent in by subscribers last week. Haven't managed to have enough time to process all of those and get them to where they live so I can find them for different projects in the future, but I am on the case. I've also done another order this week for some different kind of haul that's actually arriving tomorrow, and that's an IKEA haul, which should be enough bits of furniture, new tables and table legs and so on to supplement the ones in the old Lego room, enough to do that kind of front fascia that we looked at the last update, and hopefully enough tables for about one side, or maybe not, because it's going to use a huge amount of tables and legs anyway. That should be coming and keep me even more busy. But one thing I have done since the last haul is build the sets that were sent. There was this one and this service truck sent in by Lisa, and it just so happened in my sticker collections over the weeks and months that I had the missing stickers for both this and this set. This one actually had a surfboard in it, or a snowboard, wasn't it actually, who was the person being rescued by the helicopter. So I had all the leftover stickers for that to fill in the gaps, and this one just had one missing on the crane piece, but weirdly I had that as well, so I must have bought one of these hinge pieces for another use and pulled it off. So it just goes to show that my patented hot tea technique is really useful at saving stickers for a future use. So both of those will be able to get used in the new city. And then Barry's contribution also got built. And I just love this spinning chef. I didn't realise he was quite so active, but it's really good inspiration for my cantina. Maybe I should have somebody right in the middle serving everyone at once with all of their tentacles. I like it. So yeah, let's push all of those to one side. Just wanted to show that I had taken the time there to build all of that. But now we should get on to today's package, which, as its one word descriptor, was called track. And that's because I need absolutely loads of track still for my city, because the amount that even gets used just on the new subway system, because I want that to be even bigger, is ridiculous, quite frankly. So, ooh, very neatly wrapped. So basically, yeah, I'm going to need a load of that. But don't worry, there is loads more interesting stuff in here as well. Basically, I looked at who had a good amount of cheap track, and then basically saw who else had interesting parts as well as that, and that is who I chose. That's how this person got picked. So I'm thinking this might be a huge block of track. Yes, there it is. Wow. Not as much as last time when I got way over 100 pieces, but that is what 57 pieces of track looks like. Just a straight. I've got plenty of curves, as probably everyone has. But yeah, that is going to help with the underground. Now, I'm definitely not ballasting that because you won't see most of it. And it's a bit annoying because I have to buy quite a lot of tables to support all of this, because I'm going to try and bring my subway system that's usually going to be at the back of the standing holes and probably will continue to be all the way right up to the front fascia as well. Probably just on one side so it doesn't interfere with all those underground scenes that can be very near the floor. And the underwater scenes, but yeah, so it'll appear right up here, then sort of vanish, and then pop up sort of here and stuff like that. So yeah, an absolute shed load of track required, and that is greatly appreciated. So there we go, that's that. Now I could also see in this bag of very high quality goodies another thing that I need absolutely loads of, and that's brown tiles for the ballast for all the track on the surface. So there's two elements I need in great abundance, and that's 2x4 tiles in reddish brown, because I go for the thicker sleepers that align with the track pieces perfectly, so then I can have recessed ballast in all of the holes. And yeah, so I'm going to need 1 million of those. And this isn't 1 million, this is only 73, and that's barely going to touch the surface because each one of these track pieces takes 4 of them. So essentially, just for this amount of track, I'm going to need well over 200. So yeah, nowhere near. And then the other thing that they need is for the edges. So I'm going to need, for every piece of track here, 8 1x2 tiles in brown as well. So yeah, times 57 by 8, then 456, if I've done that right. Then yeah, that's a lot of tiles, isn't it? So yeah, it's not just the grey stuff that goes under here for the ballast, it's actually the sleepers as well that I'm going to need. Oh golly, so many pieces. It's making me panic just thinking about it. So I'll stop thinking about it. It doesn't need to be done on day one. Anyway, right. So another thing that happened last time was that Chris was completely on the money, sending me parts that were just absolutely in my wheelhouse, right down the line of what I go for, sort of old patterns and stickers and all the rest of it pieces. And it just proves this haul that we are on the same page, Chris and I, because do you recognise this? Yeah, he sent through these, didn't he? And he also sent through one of these. And I've been buying the same things in parallel, you know, without knowing that he was going to send some in. Now, it's all fine. It's not duplicates because I wanted more than one of these. In fact, I wanted 4 of these and 4 of these, and he sent in one of each. So I've now got 2 of these and 3 of these. So we're well on track to what I want to use them for. And wow, these ones are in even better condition, I think. So we didn't go through the sets last time, but this dragon panel was only on 2 sets, including 6082, the fire-breathing fortress from 1993, which is called that presumably because a dragon lives in the basement, but there's also kind of a big dragon head shaped sort of gatehouse on the front of it. So maybe the actual fortress does breathe fire. I don't know. On unwanted guests, knock on the door, salesman here. No more salesman. Anyway, that is a very nice piece and very good quality. Just such a beautiful pattern with these sort of dragons. Well, what are they doing? Oh, they're eating their own necks, aren't they? And knotted their own tails. So that's quite good. I like that iconography a lot. And there's also kind of an arch piece on that set. That's crazy money though. It's sort of £4 just for an arch. And I don't know quite how to use it because it's a smaller arch, but it's a very nice piece. You can't really see much of it on that picture, but you can on the other set that this also came in, which was the 1906 Majesto's Tower from 1994, which is a very cool set. And you can see it a lot easier on that one. And yeah, those sets must go for a heck of a lot of money now. But anyway, that is a lovely part and in pristine condition. Absolutely great. There's one scratch at the top, but you can barely see that unless you're really, really peering at it. Can you see it if I just get the light right? Tiny, tiny. Then there's these, and these don't come from the same sets, but they only came in 5 sets of around the same era. 6090 Royal Knights Castle from 1995 being one of them. Can you spot them? Yeah, it's a bit easier on that picture, isn't it? Right at the front in the gatehouse. And that's the exact same use that I'm going to be using it for, I think. Probably in a gatehouse, but definitely incorporating it kind of with normal bricks. So it looks like it's blended in with the brickwork. If you put a 1x1 here or an arch linking 2 of them together, then it really looks like they're columns holding up the normal grey bricks. And this is just sort of a black panel within them. So that looks absolutely great. And these look absolutely great. Pristine condition. Again, no marks on those at all that I can see. Absolutely fabulous. So we're on to a real winner so far. Then I'm doing all of my castle work in old grey, which is a bit of a rod for my back, a bit harder to get the parts for. But it's rewarding, I think, because in my eye, my trained Lego colour eye, old grey looks noticeably different from new light bluish grey. So it looks older, essentially, which is what a castle should look. So yeah, absolutely fabulous. But yeah, I've got 4 of these, which are parts that I've never had before. And they're kind of a cheap and easy way of making a turret or even a sort of garret tower, I think they're called, which is sort of a little tower that goes off something else. Or even something where there's just a wall that continues on both sides. And you just have a bit kind of jutting out for an archer to do his nasty business. And I didn't mean toilet. I meant shooting people with a bow. Anyway, there we go. So there's 4 of those. So I just, if you're in for one and you're paying big postage already for all this track, then, why not? Now, further proof that Chris and I are on the same page is yet another part that we both have in common. He sent through a couple of these. I think I've got one already, and I needed one more, so now I've got 4. So those 2 are duplicates, but I'm sure I'll be able to make another little towerette like this, especially with these sorts of pieces. I mean, how could I not? That just looks ace already. So Yeah, we are on the same page, Chris. You are a legend. Right, now on to more castle parts. Now this one isn't for the city, so all of that's for Brick Nottingham. For the castle joust scene, much talked about, very little done. I've got yet another lovely barding piece for the collection, and this is one that I've very rarely seen even for sale, let alone at a price that I wanted to pay, and that again looks pristine. I think this person's selling stuff from their own collection, and I think they looked after their toys absolutely pristine. There's a tiny scratch there for you being an absolute collector. That is absolutely fine by me. That is just reasonable. That could have been in production, you know, when Lego ships these things, they just bounce around on the back of a truck or something. There's a tiny bit of scuff in there. I mean, that is nothing. I'm being an absolute pedant. That is beautiful. So this is from the 8781 Castle of Morcia from 2004. That's a Knights Kingdom 2 set. And that always makes me hungry, that set, because I always think it's Castle of Morcia, which is Spanish black pudding, which is delicious. So yeah, that is a very nice set with some very nice pieces. But what makes this one extra interesting is this might look blue to you, but it's actually blue-violet. Which is quite hard to buy because often when you buy things that are blue-violet, you end up given something that is actually blue. But you can probably see the difference. I'm just looking around my desk to see if I've got anything that's blue. I've got this partial minifigure in blue, and it's the pilot from last time. You can see it is very similar, but it is different. Yeah, hopefully you can see that. Just a tiny bit of violet in there. Anyway, that doesn't make it too interesting. I think what makes it more interesting is the lovely iconography and the lovely shiny gold colour. So that will be in pride of place in my joust scene. Very nice indeed. Definitely cross that one off the list. Then I've got a couple of flag pieces, and this is more extravagance. But, you know, you've got to treat yourself. You only live once. So get rid of the packaging. And the first one is to go with this very same knight. And it's from the very same set, that same Castle of Morcia. And it's these two lovely banners. Now, are they double-sided? They are. Fantastic. So we can have them kind of looking in or looking out. I think looking out looks a bit better. There we go. So imagine a man riding that and having these two flags either side of him. But I suppose if it was a sigil, it'd probably be one way or the other, wouldn't it? But anyway, there we go. They look absolutely lovely, and they're in great condition as well. So, yeah. I mean, this jousting is going to be really big just to display all of the different people I've got, if they're all going to have flags waving around the place. But yeah, this guy's clearly going for, hey, look at me, guys. I am awesome. Anyway, that is that. And there's one more in that little safety package, and it's a very grubby but very awesome Night Lord's flag. And this one is double-sided as well, but it's cloth. And yeah, I've been collecting these. I've got one for the dragon, old dragon ones now. I've got another one which was the one of the lions, I can't remember. And now this one with that lovely Night Lord's bat on it. So this will be Basil's flag. And I'm using the new sort of Basil the Night Lord from the recent minifigure series. But this came in only one set, which is why it's very hard to get. I nearly bought it once before, but then they said they couldn't find it. So maybe they had buyers, seller's remorse. But it came in 6097, the Night Lord's Castle from 1997, which is an incredibly tall set. Very tall top to bottom. Yeah, I love that set. It's absolutely amazing, isn't it? Very much of its era, but very cool indeed. I mean, you've got to, you know, do the evil bad guy checklist, haven't you? Have you got skulls on your castle? Yep, check. Do you have a black dragon? Yep, check. Got that. Do you have a witch in a tower? Yep, got a witch in a tower. Yeah. Have you got bats all over every surface? Yeah. Oh, that's the full set. Well done. You are a Night Lord. Well done. But the best thing of all in that set, I think, is this lovely flag. Really nice cross-section, and of course double-sided, which makes it even better. So I'm going to gently wash this in soapy water because it does look incredibly grubby, but at least it's nice and flat and not damaged. So yeah, I'm going to use my repair shop skills to try and dab that and get it a tiny bit better. You have to be careful because you can't be abrasive with any of these old flags or you will lose the print. I tried that on one that was a lot less valuable than this, and yeah, don't rub very hard. So there you go. But that is beautiful. Then we have all of the other parts. And there wasn't a huge amount apart from all this valuable stuff. That's why I think it was the seller's own collection. But there's one of those that I'm getting for my sort of key side. Just use it for the texture. Some generic sort of slopes for all of the cliff faces I'm going to be doing, and other sort of grey bricks. Other interesting minifigure parts include the second half of the character Fluminox, who's a Chima character, who came in 70146, Flying Phoenix Fire Temple from 2014. And this, I think, is a very ornate robe with flames on. And when we've got the torso on, we've got a normal person's yellow head on there, not a great big sort of beaked Chima character. Maybe even a headdress or something. I thought it'd be some sort of religious leader, or I don't know, maybe just a lady joining the sort of ladies' enclosure, but in a very sort of fiery dress, maybe representing one of the sort of more evil factions. And I'm kind of going for a sort of Melisandre character, if you ever watch Game of Thrones. You know, a very sort of mystic, flame-orientated lady, I think. I think it's definitely a woman that should be wearing these robes. Anyway, that's great. So I've already got the torso, so I think we're there for that. I'm going to have to, when we move into the new Lego room properly, have a sort and at least have all of my budding collection on display so you can see it all together, because it is really forming up and looking absolutely great. And then even I will be able to see the gaps that I need to try and source. Completely different is this, an Alien Conquest torso. And this is from the Commander that comes in the Alien Mothership 7065 from 2011, which is a very, 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 very cool set. I think you'll agree. So that will be one of the first things I'll be mounting in my Lego room, right in the top corner again, because it's very hard to access later when you've got all the tables in, even with a step ladder. I don't think I can reach mine now. I'll probably need a thorough dusting. Now, I do have the character of the Commander. He's locked up in the space tower at the very top, but they're quite hard to get. And as you know, I've started buying all of my Alien Conquest characters in pieces now, because it seems they're getting fewer and further between. And I need some more officers. So although this one probably won't have all the tentacled body part at the bottom, even if it just has normal legs, at least I'll have another officer with all this lovely braid and medals, it looks like. So that's cool. Now this is another torso that I've been trying to get one that hasn't been bitten for quite a while. This is attempt number 3. So the first one was quite badly bitten and I got a refund for it. The second one just had a small bite on it, but I was a bit annoyed. So I kept it on my wanted list, and this one doesn't seem to have been bitten. Yeah, this guy wasn't a chewer either, I don't think. So this is from the character Karai from 79118, Karai Bike Escape from 2014, which is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles character, a baddie, sort of henchman for Shredder, that I'd never heard of, still haven't, but I figure it'd be really good if I'm going to have a scene with all of those foot soldiers, of course. And I've hooked out a great head with yellow skin for her that kind of mirrors the one with the flesh tones. And I think it came from one of the video characters, actually. Very sort of heavy makeup, essentially. Yeah, so it turns out the video line did have a use after all. Anyway, I quite like the video line. I think it's quite cheerful. But that is great. So we finally have a henchman that hasn't been bitten. And if I decide to use the ones I've already got, maybe there's more than one henchman. Maybe he's surrounded by loads of female strong characters that he uses to boss around his robot troopers. Right, just one more bag. Bit of a smaller order this time, but easier for me to process at least, if I can get them all out of here. Right, we seem to have quite a few of these pieces, which are they're not the lightsaber ones, they're basically the T-piece. Oh, and I thought I'd do this because you need a pole, then you'll need kind of cross pieces to go in each of the sides. And then that is how you'll mount a lot of these banners. Or if I do sort of a pole in the middle of these two flags, then I can have bars going through all of those holes and it will hold them up. So essentially these are standard toppers to basically hold all of these flags, or at least the vertically drooping ones in my castle scene. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. So that's good. Hurrah! Another piece in gold. Look at that. Fabulous. Is this horse armor? Now, some of these gold horse armors are worth an absolute king's ransom, but this one isn't. This one was about £1, so that's good. It'll probably go very well with this, actually, although it didn't come with it. It came in 5 sets, 3 of which were chess sets, actually, including 7009, The Final Joust from 2007, which sounds very important indeed. Good versus evil, clearly. So, yeah, a goody jouster will be able to have this. Yeah, I think that'll go really well with that, because this guy's clearly not shy about using gold. He'll need gold flags as well, no doubt. So that is very nice indeed. Not had one of those in that colour before. Then I've got a couple of crossing signs on sign pieces, crossing stickers. That one looks a bit scratched. Yeah, that's a shame. The other one looks all right. Does need moving, both of them, using my patented hot tea technique. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I figure that with more train tracks, I'm going to need more crossings. So I've just started buying these whenever I see them. But they apparently came from the 60198 cargo train. That's the green one from 2018 that I don't have or particularly want. But they look identical to the ones that have appeared on, well, every other set around that era. So yeah, they'll blend in absolutely fine. There's probably a slight variation in the thickness of the pieces or something like that. But yeah, if I've got a pair side by side, you won't be able to see the difference. And then the final part, which is very small but very important, is this white goblet, which came in 7 sets, but I bought it because I want it to be accurate to the original 6067 Guarded In from 1986, which, as you know, I'm reproducing using those panel pieces that I was also sent in very generously. I have managed to secure some of the corner pieces for those panels because I'm going to make that 2-sided pub, the Guarded In, and incorporate that into my city walls of my old town and have that looking absolutely fabulous. So if it's going to look fabulous and have the door opening like a picture book, then I'm going to need to have the white goblet in there that was on the original. So that was quite important. Now, I've got kind of a question for you, I suppose, and that is about the controversy of changing an old set, because, well, one part of me wanted to keep it completely original, but it's open backed and I'm going to have it in a central part of the city that you can see it from both sides. So basically I didn't want that. So I've designed it in exactly the same build style. So it looks very, very, very familiar, but with kind of a back door on as well as a front door on. So you can have a beer garden in a courtyard or something like that. So far, so good. That probably won't offend anyone. But is it controversial to change it further? I mean, I was thinking, for example, one thing that bugged me about that set forever is the fact that there's no real way up to that top turret. It's kind of a slopey roof. It'd be a real struggle to get in there. You'd need to use your fingernails to hang onto the roof to try and get in there. And if you were wearing full armour, well, that would be really difficult indeed, wouldn't it? So, yeah, I never liked that. So I figured I want to have steps going up to that turret in the roof. And another change I thought while I was doing that is why have a square turret that's a bit boring when you've got interesting parts like this. So if I had a pair of these on the top of the Guarded In, making it a bit more shapely, would that be a crime against Lego? Well, your comment will be appreciated below, but I may disagree and go ahead anyway. I think it's my duty to at least try it. So I'm going to have a sort of Guarded In 2.0 in Brick Nottingham 2.0. So yeah, really good. So that is the package from bricklink.com. I did buy one more thing this week from Amazon, which is just a new set, and that was this one. The lovely 60406 race car and car carrier truck from this year, 2024. And I've got to say, it's absolutely lovely. And it's a great build, actually. I can highly recommend this set, actually. First of all, we've got really great popping colours with these pink and dark turquoise. And I just love the decorated wheels on the truck. But both of these represent really good builds. I mean, this sort of side setup with the kind of big exhausts incorporated into the roof and so on is really clever. We've got a really nice minifigure there with a flat cap in brown. We've also got a really, really interesting sort of front of the truck with this very low kind of air splitter. I don't think it's going that fast to benefit from that. But anyway, really nice grille and sideways build and all the rest of it. So I think it's really interesting. The stickers really pop. And what I also like about this one is the lovely mechanism that's kind of two motion. So the thing can actually drive on. I mean, yeah, it'll graze its bumper a bit, but it's much better than just the ones that are kind of up here. And you think, well, how's it going to get on there? And you always have these sort of back lowering ramp bits. But yeah, there's a really good motion in there. It's really quite satisfying to do to get the car on. So I'm a great fan of this set. I think it's great. And the race car is really good as well. So this might be the style of race car that I have racing around my city, actually, because I figure Formula One's a bit boring because they'll all look the same, just in different colours. So I figure I'll have kind of, I don't know, stock, well, it's not stock cars, is it? It's kind of like touring cars, I suppose we call it in the UK, which is kind of cross between NASCAR and rally cars, I suppose. But this has got some really nice stickers on as well. Really nice build. Really huge spoiler. I like that. And I love this Louvre, I think that's what they call it, sort of feature using all these spoilers in succession all down the back. It's kind of like a Speed Champion set, but yeah, really like it. Very cool indeed. Now, the only thing I don't like, which is relatively small, is the fact that this thing doesn't have number plates on. We've got a place for a number plate. Where's my number plate? I'm going to have to get one out of my collection for there, and goodness knows where I'm going to stick it on the front. I'll probably have to put it on that curved bit there. But yeah, I'm going to do that because this needs to be road legal, even if this doesn't. So yeah, but a minor gripe, but I do like my consistency throughout my city. So yeah, that's pretty important to me. But that is a lovely set. And on Amazon right now, perhaps using my link, it's pretty good value as well. So that's why I went ahead and bought it. Yep, really cool. So yeah, a fantastic haul today. Some absolutely primo pieces with these printed panels and barding and these flags. Wow, absolutely amazing. And these minifigure parts. 2 figures completed that have been hot on my list for ages. And all of that, plus some ballast and a load of track for the new city. Winner! Well, not the biggest haul, I must say, not compared with last week anyway, but real killer pieces, absolutely amazing quality and amazing projects that they're going to support. So very, very happy with that. Altogether, absolutely fabulous. So as always, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe for more awesome LEGO brick hauls. And also do remember to subscribe to the main Robin Hood Bricks channel to see all of these pieces being used in those projects that I mentioned. It'll be a great pleasure to use them, I can tell you that. And if you value these channels, there are many ways in which you can support them. Do check out the links in the description below. And next time on Robin Hood Bricks, well, I'm going to be building IKEA furniture, so you'll have to let me know, basically, if that's at all of interest. I imagine not. So tell me what you think about that in the comments section. So I might be spending my time doing that in what is turning out to be a quite warm week, which is not good. Not good for doing loads of physical activity inside. But yeah, that's what I'll be up to. But as a minimum, I'll give you an update next Monday. Maybe I'll squeeze a very small build in on Friday. I have no idea yet. But yeah, watch this space. So until all of that, see you! Who'd have thought it'd take me 3 times to get something without chew marks on? Perfect.